there. Have you ever heard of a little girl who made history just by going to school? Her name was Ruby Bridges, and she was one of the bravest kids in American history. Her story is all about courage, kindness, and standing up for what's right, even when it's really hard. Let's learn about this very brave girl and how she made a big difference. Ruby Bridges was born on September 8, 1954, in Tylertown, Mississippi. When she was just 4 years old, her family moved to New Orleans, Louisiana, looking for a better life. Life wasn't easy for Ruby and her family because of something called segregation. Segregation meant that black people and white people were kept separate. They couldn't go to the same schools, eat at the same restaurants, or even drink from the same water fountains. Doesn't that sound unfair? But here's where Ruby's story gets really interesting. In 1960, when Ruby was only 6 years old, she was chosen to be one of the first African American children to attend an all-white school. This was a big deal because it was part of the effort to end segregation in schools, thanks to a famous court case called Brown v. Board of Education. On her first day of school, Ruby had to be escorted by U.S. Marshals. Those are federal police officers, because so many people were angry about her going to the school. Can you imagine being 6 years old and having to walk through a crowd of shouting, angry adults just to go to school? But Ruby stayed brave. She walked tall, held her head high, and never gave up. Inside the school, Ruby faced even more challenges. Many parents pulled their kids out of the school, and Ruby was the only student in her class for a whole year. Her teacher, Mrs. Henry, was kind and supportive, but it was still a lonely and scary time. Despite all this, Ruby kept going to school every single day, showing the world that courage doesn't have an age limit. Ruby's bravery helped pave the way for other African American children to attend integrated schools. She showed that even a little girl can make a big difference by standing up for what's right. 5 fun facts about Ruby Bridges. 1. Ruby was only 6 years old when she became the first African American child to attend an all-white elementary school in the South. 2. She was escorted to school by U.S. Marshals every day for her safety. 3. Ruby's teacher, Mrs. Henry, was from Boston and was the only teacher willing to teach her. 4. A famous painting of Ruby called "The Problem We All Live With" by Norman Rockwell shows her walking to school with the U.S. Marshals. 5. Ruby grew up to become an activist and wrote a book about her experience called "Through My Eyes," a famous quote from Ruby Bridges. Don't follow the path. Go where there is no path and begin the trail. Ruby Bridges' story teaches us that even the smallest voices can make a big difference. If you enjoyed learning about her, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. And let us know in the comments, what's the most inspiring thing you learned about Ruby Bridges today? See you next time.